Hello. I don't know if you can see what my shirt says, but I'm going to read it to you. I choose to find joy in the journey that God has set before me. And that's exactly what I wanted to talk to you about right now. It's something that I had on my heart. So many times we see or talk to people that are walking a journey that we wish we could have, right? But it's not what God wanted for us. And we need to find joy in the journey that God has given us. For example, my mom always wanted for me to marry someone that was Christian or marry a pastor. I always wanted someone that sat in church with me and went to church with me and was passionate about the Lord. And both times when I got married, my husband just fell away from faith, and that was it. You know, the first time I tried to save the marriage and I went along with him, and that ended badly. And then God knew that I couldn't continue to stay there, and he took him away from me. And of course I was mad about that. But now I'm married again. My husband is a great husband, but he fell away from the faith, and he doesn't go to church with me. But through all the struggles, we don't see eye to eye on many things, but he is a great person. He goes to work every day, and he's very faithful. So I've learned to be grateful for him, and through it all, God has helped me to stay closer to him. My faith in God has grown through it all. Another thing is, I'm a business entrepreneur in Young Living, and my journey has been long. And I just continue to strive, and I know that my commitment means a lot. And I continue to encourage both men and women to stay committed, to live a healthy lifestyle, and to stay committed to the journey, no matter how long it takes. And we see some people that go to the top really quick, and then we continue to look, well, how can I do that? I want to get there quicker. But perhaps that's not what we are called to do. We have a unique personality, we have a unique journey, and we need to just enjoy it. I know for myself, I've enjoyed this journey a lot. I've grown so much as a person. I've grown so much in my faith. And I'm going to one day write a book that's called something like The Journey of a Wounded Healer, Grace to Help Us Persevere, something like that, to help encourage those who are going in a long journey. Because not everybody is supposed to get to the top quick. So we each have a unique journey. We each have different things that we need to do. We each have different mentalities that we need to get rid of and renew our mind. There are so many things that we need to learn on our journey. And we just can't say when the journey will end. All we can say is, I'm going to enjoy this journey. And like it says on my shirt, I will choose to find joy in the journey that God has set before me. So find that joy and stay committed to the journey that God has for you. Learn everything that you can learn. Be always in learning mode. And keep your eyes focused on the fact that God is with you, that his joy is your strength. Because God's joy is my strength, and I've learned that. And every time I take the oil of joy and I apply it on me, I remember that. And sometimes I'll take the oil of valor, and I just got a bottle, a free bottle of this month, which is really cool. And that helps me to remember that God has given me the courage to keep going. And so these oils have really helped me stay focused as well on the intention that God has for me. So just enjoy the journey that God has given you. You are where you are for a specific reason. And I highly recommend that you read the book, The Battlefield of the Mind by Joyce Meyer, to help get rid of those mentalities that are just messing you up and keeping you behind in your journey. And just learn everything that God has given you to learn. And keep that open mind. Draw closer to God. And don't complain. Don't complain. Have an attitude of gratitude every day. Look for the things that you can be grateful for, because an attitude of gratitude is so much better than an attitude of complaining. Be positive in every situation, because through everything, God can bring something good. No matter how crazy the situation may be, God can bring something good out of it. Just like in the story of Joseph. You would never think that something good could happen from his brothers putting him in a pit and then selling him. And yet so much good came out of that story. And I really invite you to reread that story with the eyes of what God did through all of that, and how he changed Joseph's heart and made him such an amazing leader just out of nowhere, it seemed like, Everywhere he went, he prospered. Even though they kept knocking him down, he kept just putting his trust back in God. And I think it was like 13 years later, because he was 17, and then when he was sold, and then 30 when he became the leader. So 13 years later, he became this amazing leader that was only second to the Pharaoh. So I invite you to read his story, because it truly is amazing. And just enjoy the journey that God has given you. Persevere, stay committed, and never lose heart. Just draw closer to God every time that you want to complain. Take the oil, if you have essential oils, take your oil of joy, take your oil of courage, or whatever other oil that they have that could help you. Maybe envision, maybe, there's maybe gratitude. There's just so many oils out there that could help you in your specific mentality that you have. So stay committed, enjoy your journey, and draw closer to God every day. Learn the lessons that he wants to teach you throughout the journey.